All right, guys, we're going to play a joke on Randy real fast. I got his new cam here, his old cam there. He's gone out in the shop for a second. When he comes back, I'm going to drop something on the ground and put the cam on the ground. Watch his face. Drop it.
We'll be all right. We're getting on.
Dude,
I heard it. Well, it's okay. I don't care.
I thought it was going to be a different reaction.
No.
I was like,
I mean, shit happens, bro. Now my ears are ringing. Won't worry about that.
all right, that failed. I tried to get him all riled up, but Randy, see, look, Randy is cool, calm, and collected.
Sorry, I was about to cry.
All right, guys, we're over here at the shop. We're at B&K Performance. We're going to stick this thing together. So he picked up a dowel pin. We were able to get one out, but not the other one. So we're going to stick the other one in, and we're going to try to have an assembled long block tonight. We got a short block here. Tuesday night, 8 o'clock. The goal tonight, Randy's going to finish cleaning all the stuff, the timing chain cover, the oil pan. We're fixing to put the cam in it. Degree the camshaft again. If you haven't seen this degree the camshaft, I'm going to do it exactly the way I did it last time. I'm just going to use the degree markers that are on the hard mount balancer. That'll work out fine. So we're going to stick this thing back together. Hopefully, our plan is to have this motor together tonight and then in the car Thursday night and at Thunder Valley on Saturday. So we'll see what happens. Check it out. Okay, so one thing I want to point out to you guys also, when you're assembling stuff, you got to pay attention, because sometimes things get kind of haywire. But this crankshaft is a double key, and so the key is always going to be pointing straight up. But since it's double key, there's a chance if you put it in the wrong spot, this thing's not on the actual top dead center. When you put the timing set on, it's going to be off. So now that keyway is up, but the piston is down. So that is not where that needs to be. So you got to turn it to the keyway is at 12 o'clock, straight up and down. That'll put this piston at top dead center. And then that way everything is set in the right location there. So something else to pay attention to. Now this is the old cam, and this is the new cam. And so this is the one we just tore up in Randy's. And if you look, this is a different firing order. And so, I just looked at the cam card, and it doesn't specify a different firing order. It just says 351 Windsor. And so with that, I assume this is a standard firing order. Now, the one that was in Randy's, a pro stock firing order, Kevin did tweak it a little bit. This is what he wanted to put in there. And you can see, just based on the lobes and the orientation, this is double pin as well. So, but this is the intake on the number 1 cylinder. So this is the intake valve on the number 5 cylinder. So this is going to be a different firing order. And you can see the lobes. When you put them side by side, the lobes should be exactly the same. And even if you say, okay, well, maybe you got the pin in the wrong spot. So you turn it over and you put the pin so it's like this, and now everything is completely off. So this is the right orientation, but we just got a different firing order. So it's something to be careful of when you're putting together a motor. This is something that could bite you in the butt if you're, when you put this thing, when you try to crank it and then all of a sudden it's not cranking and it's popping back and you got the wrong firing order in there. Okay, so we figured it out. Found the old cam card, got the new cam card. The old camshaft had a pro stock firing order, and this has got just a regular 351 Windsor firing order. But you can see it, right? On the lobes. So not a big deal, but that would have caused us a little bit of a hassle when we were trying to start it for the first time with the wrong firing order. All right, guys, something else you need to consider when you have a dual pin. There's no marks on this telling you which way it goes. Our cam sync is on this, right? This directly attaches to that 1 keyway, right? So this is going to be here. So this is going to be here like this, like so, right? And now this is going to be on the camshaft. So we got our pins, our double pins. So this has to hit about 195 degrees on the cam sync before top dead center, right? So the camshaft and this has to be phased so that it's proper. Usually these cams only have one, but we want two because we have broken a cam pin before. So that's why everything we got is dual cam pin now. And so we just have to be careful. So when you put the camshaft down and pretend it's in the motor here, Lord, I hope I don't drop this. That would be a terrible joke on me. So you can look. This is number 1 intake, right? So that's number 1 intake. That's number 1 exhaust, and it lines up with this one. So it's got to be on the compression stroke as it's coming up top dead center, right? So it's up at top dead center. The intake valve has just closed. This is rotating this way. It's rotating counterclockwise, or it's rotating clockwise this way. So the intake is just closed. The piston's going to start going down. This is going to start turning. And you got to think the lifter is riding about right here. And so this is going to start going. And then as it goes, then that's going to start opening the exhaust valve. So up on this one, intake of number 1, intake of number 2, exhaust of number 1. So you got to orient it the correct way. So this is the correct way. Intake of number 1 pointing that way, and the exhaust about to open to get it off of the compression stroke. Man, we are learning every day. This is something that I have not even thought about. When we got this motor from Kevin and they had already assembled it, this piece here was on the camshaft. And honestly, I didn't pay attention to it when we pulled it apart. Okay, so we got the snout on, so Randy's about to lube the shaft. All right, you gotta rub it, Randy.
That's what she said, right?
Oh my God, I just snorted.
Milton's getting good at that. Those little jokes.
That's what she said.
That's what she said.
All right, he is lubing the shaft. Oh my God. Okay, that's funny. And the oil is green because it's Brad pin. All right, so now he's gonna slide it in there. And we'll find out in about a little bit later if I put that thing on correct. I think I did. I'm pretty sure I did. That Brad pin is very slick, so that's the reason I volunteered Randy to put the oil on it.
I gotta do something.
Yeah, this is looking good. Damn, y'all. Good job. All right. I'll spin it. See how it feels. Oh, yeah, that feels good. The other one definitely had a bearing that was a little notchy.
Mm-hmm.
All right, good deal. No, it's fine. Mistakes were made. This is like deja vu. No, you're fine. Just rub the shaft again. Lubricate the shaft. My dumb butt forgot to put this piece on. I was like, how are we going to retain it? So now he's got to put it back in. Luckily, that come off pretty easy this time. So. All right, guys, we got the front of the motor on here, and we just got through degreeing the camshaft, so everything worked out like it was supposed to. At first, it was degreed at 111, so I ended up having to retard it just a couple degrees on here, but now it measured out, what did you say, 112 when you do the math?
Yep, 112.
And so we did it the exact same way we did it last time. We just used the actual harmonic balancer, and for reference, we used this thing, the actual degree wheel. The only difference is, you can see going backwards, you got 180 degrees going backwards and 180 degrees going forward. And on this, it's marked at 360 degrees. So this is actually 10 when you're marking it. You just have to count it backwards. So now we got the camshaft degreed in. We're getting closer. It's getting late, but we're going to try to get the heads on real fast. All right, guys. So we're getting closer. These head studs, I should have showed y'all put it down in there, but these have ball bearings down in the bottom, so that you get the right length. These are very coarse threads. It's very crazy how it works. So they almost got them in there. It looked like Tin Man. I mean, our freaking doggone hands are all messed up. See how, look at that thread right there on how coarse the thread is. And then down in there, there's a ball bearing. And you got bigger ball bearings and smaller ones. And you just hand tighten these things down in there until they bottom out.
Because we have the wrong stuff.
The studs, Randy bought, the right ones were not available.
Right. Well, they were, but they were big money and they were months away.
Months away. So he ended up paying like $700,000, $800,000 for these.
Sam Vincent had these.
Oh, Sam Vincent had them.
Chris Seidel got them from him, so we were thankful.
Right.
To get what we got.
It's crazy how that, I mean, that thread is just insane. All right, let's stick the heads on it real fast. All right, guys, here is the top fuel hoops. You can see these things have got the grooves down in the bottom. There's a nice receiver groove. And you see, we're going to reuse these head gaskets. They don't have many passes on them at all. And it pushes it down into the groove to lock it in. And then in the heads, of course, it's got this O-ring, and that's what actually gets it so that it seals good. So I just got to get all the stuff out of this O-ring groove real fast, and we'll be set to put this in. All right, guys, well, I think that's going to wrap it up tonight. We didn't quite get done with it. Randy's been going back and forth, been thinking about trying to buy some new heads, and I think he's made the decision. I was like, dude, you need to make a decision before we put this thing together. And I think he's made the decision he might get a new set of heads. So we're going to hold off and let him think about it for sure before we do that. But we'll probably be...
Give me all your money.
Yeah, you got money?
I'm broke.
All right, we're looking for head sponsors. Anybody want to sponsor us a set of billet heads? Can you run billet heads in small block boost? Can anybody sponsor us a set of billet heads that have been sandblasted? That's what we need. These heads are pretty good, man. This is, don't say nothing about our silicone job. This head was this one was hard to get on and off. But he's going to think about it. It's late. It's like 1 o'clock in the morning now. So I don't think we're going to make this weekend anyway. So he's going to decide what he's going to do. He might put these back on. He's got to just do some soul searching. What heads were you looking at? Like a SC2, but that's
Race
Flow Development SC2s, but they potentially require a bigger bore. I mean, but you can know they said you could do it on a smaller bore.
They said they would make it work. They wanted me to do a bigger bore.
Right.
I told them I was not interested in that. He said, well, I'll make it.
So I don't know. He's got to decide what he's going to do. Just spend a bunch of money on Jezel rocker arms and.
Well, they're going to go with the heads.
So yeah. So I mean, he may
sell these heads.
He may sell those. They've been concreted up. I mean, but it's one of those things. They were concreted. We run methanol, so it is what it is. I mean, they work good. Oh yeah, that'd be something too. You can get a solid head, a solid aluminum. It'll be lighter than the concrete for sure.
I got the new D3 castings. They still have the water jackets in them.
Right, and then we can run water in the heads though, if we wanted to.
True.
I mean, because I'm not opposed. I got water in my heads. I like that aspect of it. All right, guys, we're gonna wrap it up. It's late. We're going to the house. We'll check y'all later. See ya. Comment, like, and subscribe.